I want to see David Halpin last night talk from David Halpin from Circle Stories and the Occult Book Review last night here in Naas County, Kildare, and he's on the same hymn sheet as me that the UFO phenomena, is the alien phenomena, and the fairy folklore are all the same thing. And there was one woman there, and she was talking about the Anunnaki, and she kept talking about like all the ancient races say their ancestors came from the sky. And this is just a discussion period. I interjected that, well, the reason why we have all these stories is that there was huge editorial input during the 60s, 70s, and 80s to make anyone who had a supernatural experience say it was aliens from another planet. Now, the reason why this happened was because aliens were big, big business. We had Close Encounters of the Third Kind, we had Star Wars, we had E.T., on and on and on and on. There was this whole thing of looking to, we had Don Ronald Reagan's Star Wars project to focus our sort of like ultra human state towards the stars. It had replaced Christianity in terms of the rapture. That we were to have a space rapture in space where we were going to be rebuilt as a new race. And part of this was the angels who were coming here to bring us to this space rapture, and that was the aliens and alien visitations and all this. And it was huge in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And lone voices in the wilderness like John Keel and Jacques Vallée, who were saying this has nothing to do with spacemen. This is to do with the whole same. Even Ridley Stryber was doing it. The same alien, the folklore thing, fairies and so on from the past. It's just been reinterpreted by, well, by very sinister forces. In Messengers of Deception, Jacques Vallée comes right out and says that like all these UFO cults, these channeling cults, all these whack jobs who think they're talking to aliens from another planet. He even specifically mentioned how dangerous Heaven's Gate was, and this was long before they had their mass suicide, as well as Solar Temple, before they had their mass murder suicides, as their transubstantiation to the stars. That these people were all connected to the French military and the CIA, and they were very dangerous people. They were fanatics driven by failure upon this. You see, why someone joins a UFO cult is that life hasn't worked out on this planet. It's been unsatisfying. They've been social failures, dropouts. So this is a kind of a hope. It also comes from Christianity. If we didn't have Christianity and Jesus Christ, we wouldn't have people believing in space aliens coming to save us, because that's an extrapolation of that as well. Now it's the alien, I remember when the E.T. movie came out when I was a kid. Well, actually, I was late teenage, and there was so many reviews talked about how the story of E.T. is so much like Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's supposed to be. It was to replace all that stuff. Now, the whole alien thing happened during when the reasons why you believe in space aliens is because when the Russians set off the hydrogen bomb, it scared the shit, and also put Sputnik into the sky. It scared the absolute bisto out of the American public. So they were told that the Russians were backward, the Russians could do nothing, the Russians had no power, the Russians were all idiot peasants, and suddenly they're flying spaceships. They're flying, they're putting spaceships in space and they're setting off hydrogen bombs. The the aliens beside really began with a few pieces of metal that were just thrown on the ground at Roswell, and from that, they wanted Americans to believe that we're okay, no matter what the Russians develop, we have alien technology. That was the sub narrative that was always put there. Don't worry, we have alien technology, and that was always put out there as the sub narrative. There's absolutely zero evidence of aliens from other planets having visited this Earth or having contacted this planet. Zero. None. I know you're going to be all watching Ancient Aliens tonight and saying, well, no, that's bullshit. It's all nonsense. In fact, I would say this ancient alien things is the last throw of the dice. I think you're going to get a new generation come along now with a less sort of a sci-fi possessed psyche, who have not been bombarded constantly by space salvation, alien spaceman salvation, and these people will start to look at the aliens thing in a different way. in the way that people like myself are looking at it. People like David Halpin are looking at it. David Moore, another British author, has a book coming out on this soon. This is the fairy folklore, interdimensional, whatever you want to call the experience. They're they're not from space. And all these people who are say claim that they are channeling aliens, they're either talking to demons or they're mentally ill or they're liars. It's as simple as that. Because why would look, and this whole thing of like that we're not ready to be contacted yet. I mean, have you ever heard? So just think about that. That's gaslighting. They're waiting until we've evolved to a situation where they will make contact with us. I mean, just think about the nonsense of that. Secondly, if they really do exist, we should be, and they're powerful and they can travel here. We should be doing everything not to have them here and not to notice us because they'll come and eat us, or they'll just exploit us in some way. And you have all this crap like the Anunnaki based on one guy's translation, and just about everyone at this point now agrees mistranslation of ancient Babylonian cruciform text. You have these ideas, these awful stories of slave species of God and all this crap, and it's all nonsense. Human being, it's all part of like Christianity. You're being punished. You're somehow an unworthy. So the reason why the aliens haven't made contact is because we're not religious. We're not pious enough. We're not ready yet. We have to give up our nuclear weapons, and that was all part of the CIA. That was all pure CIA stuff to try and, the aliens have told me that when they will appear to us and they will bring us peace when we give up our nuclear weapons. Hi, Russians, can you do that first? And the 1984 Olympics, where they had a man dressed up as a space alien arrive in a spaceship over the thing, and that was right in the middle of the Star Wars defense project. No, everyone's going, "Oh, isn't this wonderful?" And the alien gets out and it goes, "We approve of this global thing where you are all one and you all do as you were told and drink Coca-Cola and eat McDonald's." And people are going, "Oh, if only that really happened." And then again, you have the trickster idea within the. It's got to the point now where when I see an intelligent person who genuinely believes a space alien, I'm like, I want to shake them. It's like, look, think. Just please think. You're being taken for a ride here. And they have so many people have their lives wrapped up in it, wrapped up completely in it, and it's based on nothing. There are no Anunnaki; they don't exist. They're completely made up by one guy, Stitchin has been shown to be an extremely dubious character who hangs out with extremely dubious people, and Freemasons up the jacksie. And you've got to stop being alien possessed. You're missing the bigger picture because Christianity is an abomination. It's such a foul, filthy cult that it takes you away from uh, being living your life here in belief of a salvation in the stars. So you don't, the idea is to punish yourself now, pay off later, and that's the same thing with the aliens. Instead of like looking at the beauty of this planet and the nature of this planet and the 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 majesty of this planet, well, aliens are going to come and build us spaceship cities and bring peace. You see, it's the same filthy Christianity. It's the same thing, and it's full of the judgmental things. These alien cults are you one of us, or are you not good enough to be one of us? And that appeals to people who have a sectarian mindset. You get a lot of people from Northern Ireland who are in these alien cults, and it's part of their programming that they grew up with of sectarianism, Catholics and Protestants. It's now space aliens and non-believers. You get a lot of them with the dead eyes, totally spellbound. They've replaced the King James Bible or a set of rosary beads or a Celtic and a Rangers jersey for Andromedan space systems. It's a lot of that goes on, and the cults actually target these people. It's Indians and Pakistanis. Anywhere the cult leaders will just deliberately pick people from conflict zones. Israel is fucking full of them. The Raelians and all this stuff. Amazingly, and it's why you would think that the Israelis wouldn't tolerate it. No, but the intelligence services cultivate these alien cults because they get their killbots on their Manchurians, and they get all their their crazies and their fanatics they can use on the internet to disrupt real alternative ideas or any kind of real journalism by getting fuckers who think that they're talking to aliens through a Ouija board or through a something like that, and you get an awful lot of that. It all goes back to the intelligence services, all completely. This is why they live in palaces and like their followers don't even understand where they get this fucking palace from. Why they live in luxury? Because they're getting bags of money off the CIA or the French Secret Service, you dingbat, or MI5. That's where they're getting it from. That's unlimited funds. And so you get a lot of that. So damage, these people have been, this planet hasn't, a lot of them were good people originally when they started out before they were taken over by the psychopathic cult leaders' agenda. They're damaged somehow. They've experienced damaging things on this planet. And they see salvation in the stars. Or they're people who haven't achieved anything on this earth. Life has been unfulfilling, and salvation is the spacemen. They're coming. Spacemen are coming. They're real. And it's amazing how so many of them will distrust authority figures, except when the authority figure talks about what? Aliens. Uh, they'll never trust a policeman until they say, yes, but a police officer made the report that he saw the strange craft on the Route 461 in Arizona. The military, well, you can't trust them, except Rendlesham Forest. The US Marine Corps, they saw these spaceships. I trust them completely now. The Roswell, oh, you can't trust the Air Force. They lie about everything. Majestic 12. But except for Roswell, they're telling the truth about Roswell. They're telling the truth. Right? Am I right?